Hey, we're back. It's next time. And I'm much less snotty than last time. I apologize for that. Let's see here. Oh god. Things are popping up. Oh no, I have no idea. Shit, I had all this stuff, not all this stuff, but I had things I had planned on wanting to talk about here, and now I can't. And now that I'm on stage, the lines are drying up. I had a couple things I want to talk about, actually. Talking about the demo for this game, where I had mentioned that Japan development has a thing where they like to release the demo first and then take suggestions on what they should change in the actual game before it releases. And I don't know if that's true of every product. The only most recent example that I can think of was Bravely Default, which was that Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy game, released on the 3DS. And in Japan, they actually released like 4 or 5 demos of that game, taking fan feedback and community input to improve the final product before it was actually released. Western audience, we only got 1 demo, but it was still pretty nifty. And that made me think of another reason to add to the list of why Sega should goddamn bring this game over already, for Christ's sakes. And it has to do with that cultural sharing thing that I was talking about before with the Grand Theft Auto comparison. Look at all this junk. What's this? I don't know. But, even, if you wanted to, like, narrow the focus a little bit, don't gotta be all about world peace and, like, sharing our culture and whatnot. You can think of it from a business perspective with the games industry in particular. Because the way the games industry is handled in Japan compared to the West is very, very different. Not very, very different, but there's a lot of differences that I think are really interesting. And I think there's a lot of things that we can all learn from each other in this fucking business. And some of the cooler dudes have kind of, you know, gotten a clue about that, like the Mega Man guy. You know who he is. Shit. Fucking tip my tongue. Keiji Inafune. Inafune? I think so. When he was doing his Kickstarter thing for Mighty Number 9, he famously said, like, the Japanese game industry is up its own ass. It doesn't really know what the fuck is going on in the world, even. It's too sheltered, you know? They're, like, I'm oversimplifying, and I'm, paraphrasing and misquoting. You should just look it up. Like, there's you can just Google Keiji Inafune Japanese game industry, and there's that talk about it. And it also reminded me of Hideo Kojima, the guy behind the Metal Gear Solid series, where he similarly had talked about a philosophy where he wanted to try and integrate Western design philosophies in video games with Eastern design philosophies in video games. It was just cool where both these guys, like, both these auteurs kind of had this similar notion of cultural integration. And that just made me think of, like, some of the differences between the way these two different game industries kind of conduct themselves, you know? I'm getting into some random battles for a point. I'm not just doing it for fun. I'm trying to get some stuff. God damn it. Hate. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Where, like, for example, like, just for example, like, the way Japan does the demo thing. Games industry in the West doesn't fucking do that. In fact, the games industry in the West is convinced that releasing demos for games hurts game sales because they're fucking retarded and don't know how to do demos right. They're just like, oh man, if we release a demo, people will play it and be like, this game sucks, and not buy the actual game because we release so many shitty games and we don't want people to know they're shitty before they come out and they waste money on them. I'm being a dick, but, like, that's basic, like, fuck. That's basic, like, there's this dumb fucking bullshit study out there that's like, releasing a demo hurts game sales. Like, that's just so dumb in so many ways, I have difficulty fucking quantifying it. But guess what? Fucking the Japanese industry proves that that's bullshit, because when you do demos right, the way they're doing it, where they actually release it and go like, hey, how about some feedback on that demo? We'll use that feedback to improve the final product. You bet that would improve game sales and improve PR with the community as well. Why can't I do the roll? Is that only when I'm using the sword style? No. No. That's weird, I can't do it. I learned it from Kamaki just now. Where's the gun guy? Did I kill him? I forgot. And they also have the auteur thing, where in Japanese game development, there's kind of like a single director, you know? There's that unified guy at the top, who kinda, nothing gets put in without his approval, you know? Oh, the woodsman. What up, buddy? You're super shitty? Here, I'll chop your wood for you. Want to sneeze again, but it's not coming up. I know how to chop wood, I learned earlier. And in the West doesn't do, like, there's some exceptions, like Peter Molyneux and, that Star Citizen guy. It's changing a lot. But usually we attribute products more to a studio or a development team. We don't really consider there to be, like, that one director, that one voice at the top who's making all the creative decisions. Like, almost every game that comes out of Japan does that, with, like, Kojima and Inafune, and even this game, which has the main director who kind of gets attributed with all the decisions and credit for the game. Which on some hand is wrong, because, like, there's a lot of input, but at the same time, it's similar to how, with movies, we attribute it to the director of the movie, even though there were hundreds of people working on the damn thing. And there are some downsides to that attitude, because, like, my example was, like, Star Wars, for example. Everyone attributes that to George Lucas, even though he was a bloated hack who didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and everything that we think is good about Star Wars can be attributed to other people. Like, the original movie was fucking terrible, and it was saved in editing. No one knows those editors' names who made that movie fucking watchable. Everyone just thinks George Lucas made a good movie. He fucking didn't. They fixed it in editing. And then the next two weren't even directed or written by him. No one knows who no one remembers who fucking made Empire Strikes Back. They just attribute George Lucas, even though he had literally nothing to do with that fucking movie. Aside from owning the copyright to Star Wars. So, like, on one hand, that's, you know, it is important to give credit where credit is due. But on the other hand, it leads to a lot of shenanigans as well. Like, for example, I did a playthrough of that Batman game that shall not be named. The shitty one, you remember. And it was not developed by the company that made the other Batman games. In fact, but like, that point wasn't really realized. Because over here, the brand name of the property is usually more important than the people behind it, than the creative team behind it. So people saw another Batman game on the shelf, and they went, hey, another Batman game. Those last ones were good, this one should be good too. But no! No! And when you know that Rocksteady didn't make it, that makes a lot of sense, because obviously. But the average Joe isn't gonna realize that because the auteur method isn't really used with video games over here. It's all just brand name. Like, think about movies again. I hate comparing games to movies, but in this case it's relevant because movies have that thing where there are some directors who are so prominent and prestigious that you will go see a movie based on their name alone. You will go see a Steven Spielberg movie just on the fact that it's directed by Steven Spielberg. You don't even know what the movie's fucking about, but it's Steven Spielberg, it's gotta be good! Thanks, fucking woodsman. Now we're friends. I don't care. Shut up. I hope you chop wood. That is the extent of our business relationship. Yeah, we're friends. Okay, go away. But with games, we don't really have that. We don't really have, like, this game directed by Peter Molyneux. Like, it's just sold on the brand. And that's damaging for a lot of reasons. Like, not the least of which for the brand name itself. I mean, people played fucking Arkham Origins and went, oh, Batman's bad now, and when the new game comes out, they're gonna go like, well, that last one sucked, why would I want this new one? Even though it's made by Rocksteady, so it's gonna be good again. But that, like, people aren't gonna be able to let that go. Because of the way we advertise brand name or franchise over the actual person behind it. There are other examples, but that's just the most prominent and relevant one that comes to mind for me. And there are things that the Japanese game studios do that is fucking retarded. Damn it, I got too close and triggered this. I was trying to get into that random battle. This was in the demo as well. These guys aren't paying their tab, and we're gonna beat the shit out of them for being douchebags. Like, they don't really... Like, there are these funny articles about how Japanese game developers haven't really embraced the idea of Kickstarter yet. Which they kind of need to start doing because the AAA industry is on the downslide. Like, the rise of Kickstarter really has done a lot of good for the art of the industry. Because that's a rant for another day, but there's just this sense of, like, of disconnect, I think, or of pride. I'm not sure, where, like, Japanese studios really aren't willing to cooperate with one another. Like, there was a podcast I was listening to about, like, these guys need to just fucking, like, get over it and work together. It was really funny. But, like, and we have those different design philosophies. I mean, just look at Western RPGs versus Japanese RPGs. For crying out loud. Heck, Dark Souls is perfectly, a perfect example of what you might get when you blend those design philosophies. Where it is a Japanese-developed role-playing game... Oh shit, hold on. There was a thing! Come back! Come back here. I want to try and trigger it. Oh, damn it, there it was again. Get close together, I think that was what triggered it. Hold on, I'm gonna die. There we go. I had a thing, I want to trigger this heat. Oh god! No! Oh, okay. It was just throwing them into the water. I thought it was like, oh, they're both standing close together, so I can hurt them both kind of thing. Oh my goodness. I'll beat you to death with this table! Stand up! There we go. Killed him with a table. So yeah. Bring this game over so that Eastern design philosophy and Western design philosophy can coexist and cooperate, and for the benefit of everyone, for the benefit of the studios, the guys who want to make money, and us, the consumers, who want to give them money, and play these awesome games. Shut up. Blah blah blah, thanks for the money. Now I have to avoid going too far north, because that will trigger the next story widget. So, look at all these shops, by the way. We can just buy all kinds of goodies from them. And that's why I wanted to talk about before with the walk button here. Where I'm holding down the button and just walking instead of running. And that's kind of funny because, like, I feel like half the appeal of these games is like a sightseeing type deal. Because usually they take place in modern-day Japan, in Kamurocho, which is fictional, but like it's based on a real place. Fucking gun kata, bitches! I wonder why I can't do the roll. That's really weird to me. I mean, I learned it from Komaki, right? I should go talk to him and see what the deal is with that. Fuck this guy, shooting him in the face. Oh god, but whatever. Where it's just, so like, I feel like probably a big draw of the games is just being able to just walk through fucking Kamurocho and take in the sights of urban Japan. And that's really, I think that's kind of adorable. Because I've compared this game to Shenmue, except better. And it's got that weird, like, attention to detail. Or, like, you know how in Grand Theft Auto 5, where people were like, oh man, I live in LA, and this is like fucking, like, scene for scene, pitch perfect. Like, so much of this is so much of where I live here in LA. And that's what it's like in this game, except Japan. Like, it almost supplements as like a tourism guide. So it's cute that they keep that for this, even though it's, you know, feudal Japan, it's a much earlier time. And all the buildings are made of paper. So that's what I was trying to talk about before we were interrupted by ninjas. As ninjas are wont to do. Look at this guy try and block with his bare hands when I'm shooting him. God damn. That's just sad. You can't block bullets, dude. So, I also wanted to take this time to talk about Ryumoto Ryoma Sakamoto, the actual, historical individual who lived. And in doing research on him, I learned a bit more about this story here. I'm not intentionally trying to get into random battles, I swear they just keep popping up. I'm actually trying to head towards a place now. And apparently, in his hometown in Tosa, which is where we started this, where Kiryu was coming back home to Tosa, his buddies were part of a political movement. Damn it. Were part of a political movement which was pro-emperor and anti-shogun. But interestingly enough, they were kind of extremists. I don't want to waste the heat on them. They were kind of extremists, and they were a loyalist party, and their slogan was like, "Revere the emperor, expel the foreigners." And the funny thing is, Sakamoto was kind of like, I appreciate the sentiment, you guys, but I'm not really gonna get involved with that. That's a little too militant for my taste. Sorry. And, that assassination that we saw, where the head of the organization was assassinated by a ninja, did actually happen, although Sakamoto wasn't there to see it happen and thus was framed or anything like that. He left Tosa before it occurred. Actually, he left without permission, and since he was a samurai of the clan, of the Tosa clan, you're not really supposed to. Come on, hit me. And since he did, he was kind of branded as like a AWOL. But then his master died, so I don't know why anyone cared. But he kind of wandered as a Ronin for a while. And during that time, he was like, I'm gonna go assassinate a dude. Fuck him. Oh, now I remember, with Komaki, once you learn something from me, you have to leave and come back. And then when you come back in, he'll teach you a new thing. I forgot about that. He planned to assassinate this dude. Just, as you're wont to do. Oh. He gave us a task. I saw the number 3 in there, so maybe we gotta get in 3 more random battles. He was gonna assassinate this dude who was a high-ranking official in the Tokugawa shogunate. But when he went to assassinate him, the guy who he was gonna kill was like, "Hey dude, don't kill me." And Sakamoto was like, "You have my attention." And he actually kind of managed to convince him of that dude's idea. This was a quest we did in the demo, so I remember what to do here. Kind of convinced him of his own plans for how to, achieve, resolve the situation that was going on through Japan. And so Sakamoto actually, became the protege of this dude and got embroiled in the policies. So I find it's kind of interesting that he had that influence from his native land, who were, pro-emperor, but fuck the foreigners, and Sakamoto was like, kind of with you half and half there. But then he meets this guy who's with the shogunate, but is pro-westernization, and he becomes a student of him. So he started out as pro-emperor, fuck the foreigners, and then he goes to this guy who's pro-shogunate, yay foreigners. So he kind of had influence from both sides of the fence there. And I feel that, that's such an interesting story! You could make a fucking, a real story about this guy's life. And it's only at the beginning so far. Let's give him this rusty nail. He'll like that. Play with this rusty nail, junk kid. Get the fuck out of my face. Now we're friends, because I gave him a rusty nail to go play with. Piece of shit. Yeah, he got karma for giving a small child a rusty nail to play with. So yeah, Sakamoto was a pretty cool sounding dude. And like I said, he's known for facilitating peace through, between these two clans to unite against the Shogun. So really, what that most interests me in is how they're going to kind of convey that tale here in this game with Kiryu Kazuma. Because the interesting thing about this game and about Kenzan and the way they've always kind of done this, the 2 times they've done it. Hey kid, are you selling for a sake shop? That seems illegal. Bathhouse, here we go. Oh, this doesn't trigger yet. There's a side quest associated with that place, but I guess it's later. Yeah, right about it, why not? I'm looking for side quests at the moment. Because the way these handle it is, it's not really meant to be taken literally. It's not, you know, literally supposed to be Sakamoto or Mimon Musashi or Haizume. It's kind of like Kiryu, the person who exists in modern-day Tokyo, who we usually play as, just transmitted into this role in history. So he's not really meant to be, you know, emulating the same personality of these men. He's just Kiryu playing the role of these men. So it's interesting, it's gonna be interesting to see how fucking Kiryu Kazuma kinda falls into this role, where he's Sakamoto, who was kind of raised by pro-emperor, anti-foreigners, will eventually fall in with a pro-shogunate. Hell, the fact he's gonna fall in with pro-shogun. Oh shit, there's some shenanigans going on up here. Let's heal up real quick, because there's gonna be a fight. I can feel it. These guys are being douchebags to this lady. Let's help out. Piss off, assholes. Oh, she vanished. It was a ghost all along. Oh, you have a gun, do you? So do I. Bitch. I have a gun and a sword! Dead! God, that's so fucking brutal. Look at him roll down the stairs, that's so fucked up. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's it. Hold on. I'm gonna check something real quick. Yeah! Okay. Oh, okay. I get it now. Remember how before I was confused about what the fuck this was? Apparently, you do need to have training in order to unlock them. Because here, this is locked. But this was also locked, and this is that dodge move that Komaki taught us. So we had to learn how to do it, and now it's available on the upgrade wheel here. So we still have to physically buy it with our upgrades. But it wouldn't have been available to buy until we had gotten that training and learned how to do it. So here, I'm gonna buy it right now. Boom, see, now we can roll out the way. There we go. I was wondering what the fuck was going on. Now I get it. So as I said, it's going to be interesting to see how Kiryu falls into that role of both of these two individuals. Because they haven't been formally introduced in the story yet, so I don't want to really get into and spoil a whole lot about the Shinsengumi, although it's not really a spoiler that he will eventually join them, because he is playing as Hajime. And in the, you know, opening intro movie that I showed off, he is seen putting on that blue jacket, which is iconic of the Shinsengumi. Like, any Japanese audience would see him throwing on that jacket and go like, oh fuck, it's the Shinsengumi! So saying they're gonna fucking show up and saying Kiryu's gonna join isn't really spoilers. But I will refrain from talking too much about them until they do actually show up. But, the fact that he falls in with pro-shogunate faction is probably going to be represented here with him joining the Shinsengumi. So it's going to be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how they mesh those two roles with him, those two personalities, those two goals, those two courses in life that these two men took, and Kiryu here is going to be on that journey. As Kiryu. Again, he's not really, like, supposed to be, like... He's kind of like Tom Cruise. He's not a character actor, he's just himself. You know, like, whenever Tom Cruise is in a movie, you don't really call him by his character, you just go Tom Cruise. That's kind of what Kiryu is, but a video game character. Oh, I gotta sneeze again. So this fucking guy in the water, fuck this guy. Get out of my face. Fuck you, I'm shooting you. You're annoying. Jesus Christ. This is so fucked up. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. This guy's unarmed and we're just shooting him 27 times in the face. Get out of my face. So we've done a few side quests here and there. Got into plenty of random battles. I think it might be time to move on pretty soon, at least. Ah, man, that's another reason I like this game. Cause, like, and want it to be localized, because people can learn a lot from about Japanese history from it, because this plot is just seeped in all this political intrigue of the time. With the pro-imperial, pro-shogunate forces clashing together, that dance was actually known historically as being, like, a thing that one of the political factions would do, but eventually got bastardized and all awareness of what it was originally intended for got lost in its use. And that's just so cool and interesting, and, you know, learning about different cultures and history and stuff, it's just so cool. I love history. I love when fictional media teaches us about history. This is a great game. Fuck you, Sega. The fact that I like this game so much is making me sad. I'm gonna take it out on this guy. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. This guy is Sega. Fucking localized this game and also Yakuza 5 already. Goddamn. See you next time.